to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
For all the subscribers who subscribe to the MarcWes Sports Podcast, make sure to follow us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Twitter. Just appreciate that. But yeah,
and not just that, you gotta include CanesCounty.com now. You Rivals.com. You like we over here doing the MarcWes Sports Podcast, but you definitely got to promote the CanesCounty.com. You know what I'm saying? You getting exclusive interviews and stories from the Euro twins and Marcus Benjamin. I'm saying Benjamin. Marcus Benjamin and you guys, you should subscribe if you're a Canes fan. You know what I'm saying? CanesCounty.com.
Absolutely. Definitely subscribe to CanesCounty.com, part of the Rivals Network, Miami.rivals.com. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Still uploading videos to YouTube. That's kind of actually new for me, and I'm starting to finally get the hang of it. And I realized, wow, I got so many videos that I could upload to YouTube. I literally have like thousands of videos on my phone that I can upload to YouTube. So every day I'm just gonna give you at least 3-4 videos.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we might as well roll into the Benjamin report, or enter into the Benjamin report right here, and really give you just a lowdown on the Hurricanes. Fall camp starts on Friday. I mean, it feel like it kind of took a long time, but it feel like it's like, whoa, it's already here at the same time. Yes. And the Miami Hurricanes if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, you feel good. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about life. You feel like the U is coming back. Of course, you won't really feel that until Miami. You won't really feel Miami is back until the clock strikes zero on that Texas A&M game. I think that's like kind of like the measuring stick for, okay, let's see what we got. Let's see how the season is going to go, because the first two should be easy wins. They better be easy wins. If they are not easy wins, then we got a serious problem this year. But I doubt it's not going to be anything that we even going to sweat over for those first two games. So yeah, I mean, within the past week, we had the Miami barbecue and the cookout, where we had hundreds of recruits across the country come and just vibe out on the campus of the University of Miami. Players as far as California came to the cookout to just spend some time with the coaches at the pool over there. So it was kind of like a pool party cookout type of thing. It was close to the media, but we was out there stalking kids, watching them, going. Then they would go onto the shuttle, and then they would drive over to the pool. So we were able to see the kids come out of the the position rooms or the photo shoot rooms, wherever those are, and go onto the shuttle. And so we got to see a lot of the players who were there. There were some 5-star guys like Samuel Mpemba out of IMG was there. Of course, a bunch of the commits were there, like Jaden Wayne, Francis Malgoa. He recognized me from the Future Four, dapped me up, and was like, "Hey, my guy." You know what I'm saying? Like, so he was out there, and dude is big, bro. He was getting mistaken for an NFL player out there.
People about to say that.
Yeah, a dude is big, and he's just a really down to earth guy though too. Really mature for a 17-year-old. And then Riley Williams, the tight end, was out there. Jaden Rashada, the quarterback, Emory Williams, the other quarterback, was out there. The new commit, Tommy Kingsler, was also there.
6'6", 330.
Yeah, just big dudes, just out there, enjoying the Miami life. And then we had a lot of Nathaniel Joseph, Rayway was out there. The twins, Robbie and Bobby Washington, were out there as well. So it was definitely a good showing out there as far as the recruits are concerned. And we ended up getting a commitment out of it. It was the kicker for next year, who happens to be the number one kicker in the country.
That's
Okay.
what we do.
And then the current kicker, is no slouch as well. By the way, the kicker before that won the Lou Groza, and it's
The
still,
brother.
yeah, older brother Jose is in the NFL, going into his second year, I believe, over there with Tampa Bay. And then little brother is up for the same award, list. Was named to that list last week. And now you got, the kicker in waiting, and he's a junior. So he's a junior in high school. So it pretty much tells you that you got kicker locked down. You don't even have to worry about kicker for the next 4 years, basically. So Miami, strikes again with another commitment. Tomorrow we actually may have a possibility for a commitment with Connor Liu. Connor Liu is the number one center in the nation for the 2023 class. Most people think he is that. We're going to be battling Auburn for his commitment. But from what I hear, Auburn is not really stable right now as far as their coaching staff is concerned. But Auburn and us are the two schools that he has visited the most. Clemson is also in the mix, and so is Georgia. He's from Georgia. But I like the way Miami's closing on these offensive linemen, and these young offensive linemen. They love the fact that their head coach used to be an offensive lineman, and they got another offensive lineman on the team. So you basically got two offensive line coaches there to coach you up to be great. And the last offensive lineman they put in the NFL was Penny Sewell. So I mean, odds are it looks pretty good. It's a 50-50 chance at this point. But we'll see what happens tomorrow with Connor Liu. But yeah, the Hurricanes, that whole barbecue was a complete success. I know you was watching it on social media, Wes.
It was. I had no choice. I'm like, yeah. The crazy thing is I had got those tickets. They were free to the public. I had got 2 tickets because I knew you was gonna be out there. But me and Chris was over here trying to see what's good with the editing. So I just was like, I'll take a pass.
Tickets to what?
To go to University of Miami on that Saturday when you was out there.
That's actually this Saturday. The fan.
Oh, that's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably can slide, maybe.
Yeah, the Fan Fest is actually this Saturday. It's right after practice, so all fans can really just kind of go chill, vibe out. Talk to some maybe players, coaches, get autographs, that type of thing. They're gonna have a bunch of regular fan stuff like raffles and things going on, maybe t-shirt giveaways, food, that type of thing is gonna be over there at the university. That's this Saturday. Yeah, man. After that, we had media day that happened this week where the University of Miami allowed media to kind of go in and speak to basically any player and coach that you wanted, but it was kind of like a free-for-all. So some players were more crowded than others, and they only gave you a certain amount of time to kind of get as much as you can. I had my whole crew out there, the Euro Twins. I had my other guy, Frank Tucker, out there, myself. So we were 4 deep, getting as much content as we could, as many interviews as we could. I actually established some relationships with Coach Mirabal, who is the offensive line coach. I actually got established a relationship with the quarterbacks coach as well, Ponce. So connected with them. I interviewed the D line coach, Salavea. I didn't get to defensive backs coach Jamila Dye, and I didn't get to Kevin Smith either, but my guys got to them. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting experience, as it always is. But I think one of the best quotes from the day was the one that we heard from Tyler Van Dyke.
I'm excited for all of them. One game at a time, but to point out a few, I would say A&M, Clemson, and Florida State, obviously. So.
Why A&M?
The big SEC school, and I feel like we can really prove a point at the beginning of the season.
And Florida State?
Yeah, Florida State, Miami, FSU rivalry. Just get revenge from last year. It really hurt after we lost that game. So, yeah, I'm just excited to play them again.
And describe that feeling after losing to Florida State and just, your thoughts of what happened in that game and what you're looking to really kind of improve on in the next matchup.
Yeah, obviously it hurt as a team, and I feel like learned a lot of lessons in that game. Started really slow and came on in the second half, but it was my fault. Wasn't able to do it enough in that game. And I feel like as a team this year, we're really improving on starting fast and finishing strong. So yeah, just can't wait to play them this year.
Think about what Tyler Van Dyke said, man. I mean, he's ready for that game against A&M, and he's ready to. I mean, I feel like he really took that Florida State loss hard, like we all did. He took it like because they played that game over on ACC Network like a few days ago, and I was watching it, man, and I was like, oh my God, like there was so many moments where we could have just ended it. So many moments where that game could have been over, and they just missed out on so many opportunities. I mean, that was one of the worst losses. There's definitely losses that were worse than that, but the fact that we lost against Florida State, who was subpar last year, wasn't really playing for anything. And we were down. We were down big in that game to start off. I think they were down like 17-0 to start off this game, and then they battled back. They took the lead 28-20. And then they ended up just losing the game. I think it was 31-28 in the end. And then just seeing it, it was heartbreaking just watching that game again, because you stopped Buddy at the 1 on that 4th and 14. And even before that, on that drive, there was a fourth I think it was the drive before. There was a 4th down where they could have stopped them short, and that game would have been over. A series before that series. And then you felt like Tyler Van Dyke, if he had just like 3 more plays, if he had 3 more plays or enough time for 3 more plays, I felt like he could at least got us in field goal range, and we could have tied that game, gone into overtime, and won it. So yeah, I mean, Tyler Van Dyke, I feel like is going to murder these boys.
I agree.
Based on what he said.
Yeah, I agree. Based on what he was saying, like, again, that whole starting off slow and then, trying to finish it off later, that's always going to be a detriment to the team. So we felt the same thing with the Dolphins. First one half we're doing good, and next half we're not doing good. That's exactly what happened to the University of Miami in that game. But I'm kind of mad that it happened, but I'm happy it happened, because look in the state where we're in now. We got one of the best coaching staffs in the NCAA. But going back to what I was saying earlier, that bravado that Tyler TVD project. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people be soft. I mean, last year he was a rookie quarterback, and for you to give that when you're a rookie. People know when they're the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, you got your families and friends that be saying you the truth, but if you're the truth. And for you to go ahead and say that to the rest of the world, on national television, and, people giving you slack about that, but you keep backing it up. Like I said before, 6 games, you had over 300 yards, like 3 or 4 touchdowns in each. That's what I'm expecting from you now. And you still giving off that same swag. That interview was great. And again, with the Texas A&M, I agree with both of you guys, TVD and yourself. That's kind of gonna be like a test for us. But for what I'm thinking, like, it don't matter if we lose. It's just how I think we're gonna win now. But if we do lose, like, are we losing by a field goal? Are we losing by 1 point? Now, when I say 1 point, I'm not saying a touchdown. Like, it's like 28-29. This is 30 to something like that. Crazy numbers, but close game. I think we should be good, because again, that's the test. Like you said, the first 2 games, it should be a cakewalk. We should be able to go ahead and do our thing with them. That's kind of like our preseason when it comes to the University of Miami. Get some of the rust off, assignments that you probably thought you was on point about, and you made a mistake. You're not going to be able to make certain mistakes with these powerhouses like Texas A&M. Of course, we don't like Florida State, but Florida State, Florida. We got the talent from Florida, so their trash is something better than another state. So we know that These are the individuals that you went to school with, and there's always a competition. I really truly feel like TVD gonna hold everything down. You feel what I'm saying? He's a big guy. He's a guy with swag, and just looking at him, he looks like a real quarterback, not a high school, not a college, but he looks like a professional quarterback that should be in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Just his whole look. You know what I'm saying? He reminds me like a young Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? Because he's big as hell. He can run. He chooses not to run majority of the time because he got the arm. That's a smart thing. You don't want to get injured running when you can get more yards passing the ball, especially with the athletes that we got on our team. But yeah, everything that he said was on point, spot on. I still like the swag. I like the bravado, and keep doing that. You feel me? Because that's what I'm known to expect from you now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with everything that you're saying about TVD. And he also conveyed that swag when he was at ACC Media Day, and really just kind of showing that he's confident, he's ready to kind of go out there and really ball out. And I do want to let people know, though, he's probably not going to put up as high numbers as he did last year, because last year we were just our defense wasn't good. Let's just be real. The defense wasn't good. They was giving up a lot of points, and Tyler Van Dyke had to throw us to victories sometimes. But I don't think he really needs to do that so much this year, because the offensive line should be much improved. There should be a high dedication to the running game. I really think the running game is going to be totally different this season. For various reasons, and you can read all about it on CanesCounty.com about why I think the running game will, and just the offensive line all together, is going to be much better this season. But on the defensive side, we got a leader we got a guy that can step into a leadership role, and that's James Williams. James Williams, only being a sophomore, was a true freshman last year, 31 tackles, 2 interceptions, and I think four passes, pass breakups, and he didn't even start every game. So he was actually nominated for the Defensive Player of the Year award, and he had this to say on Media Day.
Getting held to, everybody getting held to a high standard. Everybody, not just players, coaches, staff, everybody on and off the field getting held to a high level to get where we want to be and bring this championship culture back.
Now, you've also been on the watch list for the Menark Award. Just tell me your thoughts on that when you heard about that.
I was excited, but I got to be humble and play football. At the end of the day, can't win it without making plays, so I'm just focused on making plays, and whatever comes with it, comes with it. If I'm winning, I'm winning. If I don't, I don't.
Now, with that, you are going to be looked at as a leader. How ready are you to take on a role like that?
I'm ready. I'm ready to face adversity. I'm ready for anything that comes my way. I just want to play ball with the guys. I just want the University of Miami to ball together and all come together at once.
So just kind of hearing that, you kind of love to hear the energy, from the young man, from Opalaka. He is really ready. He's hungry, like he said. He said they're like wolves out. They're like hungry, like dogs, foaming at the mouth, chomping at the bit, ready to get out there and lay the wood. So I'm excited to kind of see him play and the entire defense, because it's not like the offense was really that bad. Now the running game was not even good either. Last season they kind of abandoned the run because they were down a lot in games. And that's something else like I want to see improve. I don't want to just there's so many times, Wes, I know you feel this way. It's like you start watching the game and then all of a sudden we down like 3 touchdowns. And it's like, what the hell? Did we even prepare for this game? Did we even look at the film? I mean, that's kind of how it felt going into a lot of these games, including that one against Florida State and even a couple of years ago against Clemson. It's like you down so much. It's like the one against Alabama. It's like before you even sat down, we was down like 3-4 touchdowns, Like it's
Yeah,
just
it was.
you don't want to see that type of game or that type of start. And I don't think you will with this type of coaching staff. I think they're gonna have them boys ready to play every game and have them mentally prepared. And James Williams has an opportunity to really kind of step into the role and be one of the dogs or one of the alpha dogs on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I hope he can be that for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you saying. I mean, I've been thought he was a dog. You know, this guy, you look at him on the field and he's just so much bigger than everybody else. Normally, when I watch the Canes these last few years, our O-line seems smaller than every other O-line. Our linebackers look smaller. Everything looks smaller. When you see Alabama and the Clemsons and the Georgias, these even the Texas A&Ms, these schools, like their players look like NFL guys, 300 and some change, that's what we're getting. And I used to rationalize it where I'm like, probably is because we're hot. We're in Miami, so we're burning a lot more calories than these other individuals in these places. But nah, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So for me, hearing that from James Williams, big guy, this guy looked like he should be a linebacker, or hybrid safety linebacker, something, I mean, I like his game. He liked to be up in the line in the box, but again, I think they're gonna find a way to get all these safeties in the game. I think he's gonna be the leader of the safety room, to be honest with you. And I think as long as he was playing, as long as he continued playing like he was playing last year, again, only knocks on his game was when he would not wrap up when he was tackling. But that was one of the things that Mario Cristobal and company spoke on, is wrapping up. We're dead last when it came to tackling in college football, if not close to dead last. And that's not something that you want to associate with the University of Miami. We the one that created swag. We the one that have all these 30 for 30s on our specific team. So it just shows you that, and not just that, we're the ones that get the hate. You know what I'm saying? When if you're the 5-star player, you come to Miami, now you're a 4-star player. If you're a 4-star player, now you're a 3-star player. And that's just from all the hate. So for me, with James Williams, if he could stay healthy, because later in the season he did get injured with a shoulder injury. And if he could wrap up, I think he could be great. I mean, the guy grew up in Opelika. You already know, coming in Dade County, there's a lot of places that you probably don't want to raise your children in. I mean, Opelika is one of them. You have probably Brown Subs is another one. You have Overtown. Those are kind of like the rugged places. Again, there's violence and there's poverty everywhere, but in those certain places, it seems like it's a lot worse than the rest of the surrounding counties. But for me, he already succeeded. You know what I'm saying? He made it out of Opelika. He made it to the University of Miami. He have people like me and yourself talking about him on our podcast. So that just shows that he's hungry. And like you said, and like he said, look, we're hungry like wolves. You feel me? Bam Adebayo call the heat, the kennel. We're in the kennel. So yes, we're in the kennel. Like Dade County is the kennel. We full of dogs, we're full of wolves. We ready to put everything on the court or on the field, depending on what sport. And I really truly feel like James Williams will definitely have an impact, especially with all these coaching staffs. And for me, I think it just was a respect thing when it came to not wrapping up and this, that, and the other, because like I said on previous podcasts, when Silvera said, yo, like I will snap on people when they joking around because we lost. Y'all happy. You know what I'm saying? And when I go snap on them, you got the head coach saying, no, don't say that. Like, nah, what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you had Iggy the other day just gave a speech to the University of Miami, like, yo, like basically checking people. You feel what I'm saying? You showing me that you're hungry and you're about that life and you're doing it for the man next to you. You know what I'm saying? So again, I truly feel like all these people around, Jimmy Johnson coming in at times having speeches, and all these Hall of Famers and people that have been in the game and is well respected. I think those individuals going to have an impact on all of our players, and not just the players, but it's going to build confidence for us as fans. And, I truly feel like the University of Miami is definitely headed in the right direction, especially with James Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of swag that, or confidence, or alpha dog mentality that you want to see coming from your potential leaders on this football team. So, yeah, I mean, every week we have something great to say about the Hurricanes, and with these next couple of weeks, you'll really see like who are going to be the starters, like who is really going to be the players that are going to shine. And that there's a lot of positions that are kind of up for grabs. Linebacker is pretty much up for grabs. Offensive line, we're not absolutely sure who's going to be the starting five for the O line. Running backs, you pretty much kind of know who they're going to be, but you don't know who's going to get the most carries or who's going to be the first, the starter of the game. Could be Jalen Knighton, could be Don Chaney, could be Henry Parrish. Trevante Citizen, from what I've seen, he just got there, and he looks like he could be out there and be the number one back. So he could be the superstar in waiting at running back. And I didn't even talk about that. That Franklin, who's been dominating high school football, had 300 yards in a championship game, is also, part of that running back squad as well. Receiver, you don't really know who's going to be wide receiver one. Xavier Restrepo is going to be likely that slot receiver, but who's going to be the two on the outside? Is it going to be Keyshawn Smith? Is it going to be Frank Ladson? Is it going to be the JUCO transfer, Kobe Young? Or is it going to be one of the young guys like Romello Brinson? I mean, he's coming back from injury. So it's pretty much going to be one of those guys, a receiver. Tight end, you already know it's going to be Will Mallory. I mean, that's pretty much a done deal. But Arroyo's going to be there too, and he's the better blocking tight end, so he might get more snaps than Mallory. And then you got Skinner, who's a really athletic tight end. Just came in. Cristobal was able to flip him from Alabama to come to Miami, so you already know what kind of talent you're getting if Nick Saban was trying to get him. And then the D line too. The D line is kind of who's going to be starting on this D line, because you think maybe Javaria Harvey is going to be one of the defensive ends, and Mitchell Lagude, who's one of the transfers from UCLA, I think is probably going to be one of the starters. And then you got Leonard Taylor, who's kind of like James Williams, was a freshman last year, shined. Now he's coming in as a sophomore. Was a 5-star coming out of high school, out of Dade County. So is he going to be that guy? Then you got Jacob Lichtenstein, also coming from the West Coast at USC, but he's originally from here, and is likely going to be that other D tackle. But linebacker, completely up for grabs. You got Corey Flagg, possibly going to be the guy because he led the team in tackles last year. Wayman Steed, no one really likes him because missed tackle. There was plenty of missed tackles from Wayman Steed last season. Wesley Basaint, young guy, but a lot of great things people are saying about him from Miami Central. And then you got Tyreek Stevenson. You think that's going to be your number one corner? There's no doubt about that. But who's going to be the other corner? Is it going to be Corey Couch? It's going to be Al Blaze. It's going to be DJ Ivey again. Or is it going to be one of those young guys who come in like Chris Graves, one of the recruits? Safety is pretty much locked down. You got 3 really good safeties with James Williams, Avante Williams, and Cameron Kinchins. So safety, I think, is, and even Brian Ballum, who doesn't get a lot of playing time, is a decent player as well out of Miramar. And then you got your punter coming back. He's probably the best punter in college football.
Got the more tax.
And I already talked about the kicker. So Miami's pretty good shape. It's just linebacker is going to be a question. Who's gonna step up on the D line and the O line, and who's going to be wide receiver one? those are really kind of the main questions going into this fall camp. So we'll see how it all plays out. We are going to have coverage. Kings County is going to have coverage of that first practice. The Euro Twins are going to be down there. Myself and Frank, we're going to be at the high school media day for the first day. And then Saturday, we have actually another media day. So it'll probably be the same type of deal. I'm going to have the Euro Twins cover the practice. But after that, pretty much everybody will be down there because media days will be over and it'll be a full go with the Hurricanes. So I didn't mean to bore y'all with all of that information, but it's all stored in the brain here, and like this is what I do, man. I'm all in it all the time now. So I could just rattle off names like that off the top of my head, and yeah, so that's pretty much what to look forward to with the University of Miami, bro.
Yeah, we look, you're not boring nobody. We love the Kings. You feel me? Especially on the MarcWes Sports Podcast. Anything Miami, Heat, Dolphins, Canes, even the Panthers. We definitely love them, and we love everything that you doing and saying. Because without you, certain real stories we're not gonna go ahead and get. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm looking forward to the season. Definitely think we're gonna do big things. We're not back yet, but we're back to work. Pretty unfortunate story at that. You know what I'm saying? You got Bill Russell.